Hello, everyone. This is Father Bonnie, and welcome to the Horizon of Hope. I came across with this particular document today. It was actually out today. It's called International Survey of Catholic Women, Analysis of Responses from Australia. This survey was actually done by the International Survey of Catholic Women in response to the 2021-2024 Synod of Bishops. This particular paper was compiled by Dr. Tracy McWan and Catholic Mark Phillips from University of Newcastle. 17,200 people around the world, Catholic women, participated in the survey, and there was around 1,769 Catholic women participated in the survey. And these professors, Tracy and Kathleen, got together and they did a compiling of the analysis of responses from Australia. Very interesting study. It gives an insight into how our young Catholic women who are practicing, very committed to the church, think and see the teachings and the practices of church. So let's have a closer look into the findings of this paper. The demographic of the people who participated from Australia, around 34% were aged over 70 and 61% were over 55. Now, the age plays a very significant role in the view of reform of the church. Above those who are 55 years and above, they said they need reform in the Catholic Church, especially in leaderships, in the gender roles in liturgy, and all the some other moral teachings and dogmas of the Church. However, a great majority of those who are below 40 supported the status quo, which means they are happy with the way the church is going at the moment. 74% desire reform in the Australian Catholic Church among women, compared to the global average of 84%. But the most important factor, in these 74% women who are desiring reform in the Catholic Church in Australia, there was the over 70 was 94%, and over 56 to 70 age bracket was 87%. They supported reform. However, those who are younger Catholics, who are between the age of 18 and 40, only 44% supported reform. The rest, a big majority of the young Catholics, they're just happy with the church as the way it is. Now, there is a disagreement on the meaning of reform among the younger Catholic women in Australia and those who are above the age of 55. So older women seek change, while younger women desires a return to orthodoxy. So older women, they want more progressive understanding, more a church who responds to secular pressures. But the younger Catholics want to go back to orthodoxy, traditional way of being a Catholic. Very interesting. In matter of inclusion of women in the Catholic Church, of course, ordained ministry, all other administrative part of the Catholic leadership and governing body, the younger woman didn't want to change much of what is happening now. So 93% of those who are aged above 55, they wanted a complete reform in the structure of the leadership in order to involve and include women. However, only 30% of the women who are under the age of 18, between the age of 18 and 40, supported they need more inclusion in the Catholic Church. Now, freedom of choice on sex and the matter of contraception. Under 40, so those who are young Catholics who are participated in the survey, rejected contraception or choice on sex. 2/3 of them rejected it. There was, between the age of 41 to 55, there was split opinion. Some liked contraception, some didn't, unsure of this. However, those who were above the age of 55 and above, they wanted very exciting, as the survey says, enthusiastic support for every reform in terms of contraception. They wanted it to be allowed, and in terms of choice on sex and other matters. Now, remarriage after divorce, that's a particular point. Less support from young Catholics. They like to have it the way it goes on like this. But all the women wanted, they wanted much more relaxed view of marriage after divorce, because must be life has treated them and taught them some lessons. Young Catholics are more fervent and say, no, we have to keep the sanctity of marriage. That's good. But there are some common agreements among the young Catholic women and the older Catholic women, such as they agreed on points like misuse of power by male clerics, which damages the church. And they said leaders all must address various forms of abuse. The institution needs to confront the cover-up of sexual abuse. All the matters related to the way church addressed and deal with sexual abuse issues, all ages agreed that the church needs to do more. That's actually very pleasing to know. Now, the women's involvement and leadership matters. Again, the younger population, 29% of them said they are happy with the way women are involved. They are acknowledged by church in their feminine role to play. However, the older women, they were unhappy with the role they were playing in the church. They wanted more inclusion. Now, preaching by women. Now, according to this survey, a significant majority, 69%, support women preachers giving homilies during Mass. Can I say something? I support that too, because it's important to hear from a woman's point of view how they interpret in their particular context the gospel of the day. Does it have to happen in a Mass? That's a good question. Now, but a significant majority supported that women should be allowed to preach during homilies. Now, the support increases with the age, which means 18 to 40, there is 26% said, well, we can have homilies by women in the Mass. Then 41 to 55 age group said, around 51% of them said, yes, let's have homilies by women in the Mass. And the highest yes, we need homilies by women were from those who are 56 and above. 80% of them said, nah, we need women to preach. Very interesting to know. Now, about the ordination of women, again, young Catholics said they're happy with the way. There's only 21% said they support women ordination either to diaconate or priesthood. However, the older population, 82% of them said we need women priests and women ordinations. Interesting point. Now, so overall, what do we see is that there is a push back towards conservatism. According to this study, the way the study defined conservatism is the adherence to Catholic dogma and traditionalism. So that's the interpretation they give to conservatism. So in that way, according to this particular study, what the study shows that young Catholics between the age of 18 and 14 in Australia, young Catholic women are pushing towards conservatism. They to the point they even like traditional Latin Mass. They love the Catholic dogma. They want to live according to the Catholic moral teaching. They don't want a watered down sort of spirituality of morality or liturgical expressions within the Catholic Church. However, older women above the age of 55, they wanted, majority of them, around 82% of them wanted to reform in all the areas of church, especially in dogma, moral teaching, liturgy, inclusion of women in homilies, inclusion of women in priesthood and ordained ministry. Very interesting scenario. And the study, actually, a kind of commentary on the study, which I was reading, said those women congregations who are very traditional, who wear a habit, attracts more young people, young women to them than those congregations like Sisters of Mercy, who have walked away from their habits and live by themselves in flats instead of communities. They don't attract that many vocations at all. Actually, they don't have any vocations in Australia. However, the Dominican Sister of Nashville and however, the Dominican Sisters of Nashville and the Immaculata Sisters in Armadale, they all have vocations, including the American Community called Sisters of Life. Very interesting to note that young people are attracted to orthodoxy, attracted to traditional living of religious life, and they are growingly conservative. Now, my take on all these things, if this kind of push towards traditionalism, traditional Latin Mass, and conservatism, is it because of fear? Then it's very unhealthy. The whole world is very unsafe for me to live. I am really afraid of my values, so I am going to create a particular identity. And I have seen some of the young people wanting to join the seminary because of identity crisis. Though they cling on to their burritas, their cassock, they want to wear black cassock and very obsessed with liturgy, and most of them want to do Latin Mass liturgy. They're very young and their pastoral sensitivity is zero. They preach dogma without even considering the pastoral context. And I think that is an identity crisis than a genuine encounter with Christ and the love for his church. However, if this particular movement of the young people towards conservatism and traditional way of living and love of dogma, is it because they have a genuine encounter with Christ and his church, and they want, in a world confused because of sexual revolution and technology, social media, and you can do anything and it's okay, that kind of multiplicity of truth, relativity of relativism, and all sorts of confusion in the world. And if they want a stability, they want a way of life, they want a clear path to live out there what they believe, and then if this comes out of it, then it is very healthy, because they are living the truth, and they're bold, and they're very happy that the truth gives them a particular way of life, and they are very happy about it. The drawback, not a drawback, but this survey was done among Catholic women who practice, who are committed. Now, as a priest, I don't see myself as a conservative or even a progressive. I stay in the middle. You may think that is a bit lazy position or very political position or a diplomatic position, but I am an evangelist. I want to bring young people, especially those young people who haven't heard of church. I go to universities and schools where young people haven't heard, or they don't even care about the church. They don't even care about the question of contraception. Or for them, it happens, and whatever the social media says, I agree with that. This is the public opinion, popular opinion. I agree with that. So when I work with them, my point is not dogma. My point is, how can I bring young people to Jesus? What is the first point of entry for them in terms of Jesus? So I see myself as someone in the middle, wanting to have a balance. I don't want to be too obsessed with dogma and too obsessed with the way how I hold the incense or which way I hold my hands. But at the same time, I don't want to be so relaxed because of pastoral sensitivity and inclusion, but want an authentic expression of truth. I want everyone to access Christ. And I want to facilitate that access to Christ in any way I can. However, it's great to see the young Catholic women who are practicing love the church, love Christ, and want to give their lives to Christ. So check out this particular study. I will put a link in the description. Very interesting how our church thinks, and hopefully this synod will listen to all these voices of the older Catholic women, younger Catholic women, and be able to hold everything in peace and justice. God bless you. Thank you. I'll see you again soon sometime. Thank you.